Hello and welcome to The Strange Take. So, today I was kind of thinking about people who get carried away with things, right? It could be, somebody they told a funny joke and then they keep trying to tell the same kind of joke, or, they keep trying to keep the laughs rolling and it kind of goes south, right? Kind of like, all right, well, it was funny for a minute, but it's not so funny anymore, right? Or that person, right, in the bad mood. Yep. And then, they got to do something. We'll say like maybe it's the dishes, right? Hey, you got to do dishes. Oh, well, if I do dishes right now, then all these other bad negative things will happen. I don't have time, right? It's like, okay, so, maybe dish is a bad example. Okay, well, let's all of us have experienced that person at work, right? So we'll say you're at work, and we'll just make up names here. We'll say Cindy and a guy Lou, right? So we got a girl Cindy and a guy Lou, and they're both working really hard, right? Being positive, but doing their job, not cruising, doing their job. But you can tell that they're feeling the stress. They're moving fast, and you can see the sweat on the brow, right? A little bit of pit sweat there. Lou doesn't mind it, but Cindy's like, oh, I got sweat in my pits. It's showing. Girls don't like that. Well, all right. So they get asked, hey, guys, I need you to do some more, right? I need you to do this other totally different thing right now. Oh boy. Well, if I do that, then this won't happen, and this won't get done, and these things will, all these negative things, right? And I'm like, well, what if you did that and those, and, then everything would be done. But it's like, this one little thing is the roadblock, right? It's the teetering, the card in the house of cards that's, wobbling a bit. It's that one thing that people take and, they take it in their mind and they don't want to do it, right? That's what it really is. Like on myself, I love getting carried away with things. Oh, absolutely. Do it all the time. Hey, cheeky guy, can you vacuum the stairs? Well, I'd vacuum the stairs, but I was going to cook dinner, right? And then if I vacuum the stairs, I won't be able to cook this for dinner because I just won't have time because I got to be in bed early, right? So one of the two things, okay, I'm let off the hook, no big deal. Or I'm pushed, and I get to that point where I get the stairs vacuumed, and then it's like make the dinner, and it's like, okay, I'm just making macaroni tonight now. Because, I had to do something I didn't want to. So maybe really like getting carried away with things and not wanting to do things and finding reasons for it kind of maybe go hand in hand. Maybe, possibly. How about, we'll say like TV shows, right? We all love our TV shows, and, good one is the Trailer Park Boys, right? I don't know if everybody's seen that, but if you haven't, go on YouTube, check it out. Don't go right into the movies. Go to the beginning of the series. That's where it was the best. They had the most freedom back then. But, they got carried away in that show with everything, right? It was never, a car would roll up and the trailer park manager would fall out drunk, and it wasn't just a couple cans and bottles. We're talking like, so half the bottle depot would fall out of the car, right? That's getting carried away with things, right? But it was so fucking funny. Laughing. Oh, yeah. How about, excessiveness, maybe. Maybe excessiveness would also go in with the term of getting carried away with things. But, sometimes, like, it's like, oh, you're having some friends over, right? Not during COVID lockdown, of course. But maybe more, before pre-COVID, having friends over, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm going to put this little Hawaiian thing on the wall and kind of, I'll go here. And next thing you know, you're oh, I gotta need more stuff to decorate for this party, and they're heading down to the Looney store or wherever it might be and buying all this shit to have people come over. It's like, okay, well, you can't carry it away with the party, right? Nobody, people look, oh, that's cool. Oh, wow, right? It's more here to talk and hang out and maybe indulge in some drinks or some toots or whatever people are doing, right? Or just sit and talk, coffee, right? Came over to have dinner, a bowl of soup. Here, when you have company over, just sidetracking for a moment, would you feed them a bowl of soup if you had company? A lot of people do that, believe it or not. If I had company over, it's got to be steaks or ribs or some kind of, meat-based super meal, right? Salads and all this stuff. But I invite someone over, it's like, we're having chicken broth soup with low-cal whole wheat buns. Aren't you? Definitely, you're going for the conversation, not the dinner, right? But anyways, back to getting carried away. See, I'm getting carried away with things, right? Maybe a soup dinner is really healthy and good, and when you leave, you don't feel too full. You're like, hey, driving by the fast food, thinking, I could stop by and grab me a McChicken Jr. or a double Papa Burger or a fucking Whopper or something, right? So I just had a bowl of soup for dinner. That's it. Soup's good for you, though, right? But, getting carried away with things, it's a lot of different things, Maybe someone takes a vehicle in to get a little tiny repair on it, and then, the mechanic's like, oh, well, you got this wrong, so you fix that. And he's like, oh, you got this and that wrong, too. And, hey, you might as well just go for the whole fucking home run package, right? Let's get all this stuff done, right? It's kind of getting carried away with it. It's really, you just went in there to spend $300, but now you're walking out $3,000 later, got carried away with it. Shopping. Yep, shopping. Everybody gets carried away with shopping. Yeah, you go in just for a loaf of bread and come out with a month's worth of food. Home rental shopping. Everybody loves home rental shopping, right? Yeah. Buying new things for the house. Get a little carried away. Sometimes people get carried away when they find a good deal. It's like, hey, I found my shampoo. It's $1 off. Okay, well, maybe not $1, but we'll say it's $5. Oh, well, nowadays I think it's like $10 for $12 for a decent bottle of shampoo, right? If you're using that stuff, right? And, and then you gotta buy the conditioner too, right? So, all of a sudden the shampoo's on for $2, so you're like, oh, I'm fucking getting carried away. Oh, I'm getting carried away. I gotta buying everything they got. I got 2 years worth of shampoo for the cost of, maybe 6 months. Well, it's a good deal. That's not a bad getting carried away, is it? Right? Getting carried away was pandemic shopping. Everybody buying toilet paper. Getting carried away with the toilet paper. The shitter tickets. Yep. Yep. Shitter tickets. Selling them in the parking lot. You buy them in the store, and then you go out and sell them in the parking lot. Just make $20 right on toilet paper. Or Lysol wipes, right? People are, they're buying them Lysol wipes like they're going out of style. A lot of people bought them last year and haven't even used some of their stock. They're almost dried out by now, right? You ever buy the Lysol wipes and you're like, oh, I really need these. And, you open them up and they're fucking almost bone dry, right? It's like, oh, what a waste of money, right? Getting carried away with things. A lot of times kids do that, teenagers, right? They like to get carried away with things because, one little thing goes wrong and then they lay out this cascade of terrible things that can, happen, right? Terrible things that can, just be the end of all, right? I mean, shit, you just don't want to go there, right? Well, we go there because, if you're a parent, you got to, right? But you just in one ear and out the other when when the getting carried away starts with it. How about people like when they lose their tempers, right? We talked about this in, past podcasts, beating yourself up, losing your temper, right? A lot of people get carried away nowadays, losing that temper. Oh boy. Right, we talked about the parking lot fight. What about the restaurant fight, right? I see those on the YouTube all the time. Now even on my TikTok feeds, my shuffle dances, they're fading out, and in is coming in this new breed of TikTok of, it looks like, 5 videos, right? Young, skinny nerd kid beats up 2 old men, right? 2 old guys all drunk. Good for him, right? Feel bad for the old guys drunk, telling some kid how it is and getting smacked out, right? Yep. So people getting carried away with things, A lot of people get carried away just by a certain look, or, something comes out of the mouth that, maybe could have been a little more edited, right? Like, hey, fuck you, you goof, right? All of a sudden they're getting carried away with it. They're like, oh, I'm coming to get you, right? Or how about people get carried away like when they're making threats, right? It's like, oh, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill your mom, your dad, your grandma, grandpa. I'm going to travel back in time and kill people in your family because I'm getting carried away with my anger at you, right? Can you imagine that? People do. They get, we talked about the parking lot fights. People jumping in their cars trying to kill people, So, we've covered the anger and the funny and the work and getting carried away with things, and teenagers getting, carried away with things, right? How about getting carried away with substance abuse and habits? I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand with everything, But, despite all that, right, getting carried away with things, how about getting caught up in things, right? I wonder if that, helps lead into the getting carried away with things. Getting caught up in things. Well, they could be, nothing worse than like you're out with your visiting friends and they're having an argument and you're kind of caught in the middle and you kind of want to go, right? You're like, oh, fuck, they're arguing. I should get going. And then one of them looks and says, don't you think so? And you're like, who, me? Yeah. Now you know that if you don't say anything, right? Why didn't you say something? Right? Or if you say something, it's like, why did you say something? Right? Because if you agree, then after they work out through the argument, they're going to remember that you had something to say. Yep. How about, just being caught up in, just the winds of the whirls of the day, right? There's so many things you can get caught up in, right? Spider webs, right? You get caught up in watching a show, or get caught up in something else you're interested in, or caught up in a duty, right? Then you're all caught up in that, and then maybe you get carried away with it because that's why you're caught up in it. Well, little thinky dinky right there, huh? Fuck. I tell you. Sometimes when I finish these podcasts, I'm like, what did I just say? I got all caught up in it. And then I got carried away with what I was talking about. That's right. So, everybody, always something new on the Strange Take. Always giving you the strange take on things. And obviously I'm accomplishing that. We're available on all kinds of media platforms. Biggest ones are Deezer, Google, and, Facebook and YouTube. So if you're ever wondering, just go into one of those avenues, type it in, check it out. Maybe not Facebook so much. But anyways, everybody, keeping it real, keeping it strange. Always something weird and strange to talk about. You take care. Have a good day, everybody.